Were they spying on Kushner? Holy Moses, would that be huge? Now, a year later, to the day of those texts. So the text I'm talking about, November 17th, between Page and Strzok, where they're like, whoa, man, Kushner getting access to son-in-law. This is big trouble, man. You know, look at this. Right. We'll give, but he's looking for clearance for Kushner. This is trouble. A year later to the day, noted Spygate insider Natasha Bertrand, media hack, who's been on the wrong side of every single angle on this story. Bertrand gets some very suspicious leaks in this case from day one. She's one of the worst reporters in this case because all of the leaks she's got, most of them have been patently false. In other words, they've been using Bertrand, I believe now it writes at Politico, to foster fake stories. And Bertrand, who doesn't do any kind of journalism, never checked these stories and just puts them up. Don't you think it's awfully special, Joe, that she wrote this article on November 17th, exactly a year later from those texts, surprisingly, about Kushner? Oh, wow. Business Insider. By the way, this will be up in the show notes. It's worth your time. Only for reading how easily these people get played, Bertrand. Headline, Business Insider, November 17, 2017, a year later to the day. Kushner received emails from Sergei Milian, an alleged dossier source who was in touch with George Papadopoulos. Let me put up a little screenshot from this piece to show you. I'm going to get to what she's getting to in a minute. But remember, everything you're told in this screenshot from the piece is the effort of a deep state insider to use a media tool like Natasha Bertrand to get you to believe something that's not true. You must always read Bertrand stories through that lens. She is being used as a gaslighting propaganda piece by deep staters who are trying to tell you something that is patently false. What are they trying to tell you here? Quote, Milian is also believed to be a key source in a collection of unverified memos known as the Steele dossier, namely after its author, former British intel officer Christopher Steele. The memos outline Trump and his campaign members' ties to Russian officials and allege Moscow and the Trump campaign worked hand in hand at points to influence the U.S. election. What is she trying to tell you here? Why did I read that? The title of this story and the gist of the story, which will be up in the show notes and is definitely worth your time, is that this key source for the dossier, Joe, Sergei Milian, according to Bertrand, has also been CCing Jared Kushner on emails. A year later, what are they trying to tell you? Ladies and gentlemen, someone in this deep state Spygate operation was using Bertrand because they wanted you to connect Milian to Papadopoulos and Kushner at the same time. Why would they want you to do that? Because Bertrand, who doesn't do journalism, she just does gaslighting, probably still believes that Milian, who now we know, according to the IG report, there's allegations, I should say, to be fair to Sergei, because Sergei denies a lot of this. And honestly, with Steele and the back and forth on Sergei, I'm not even sure who's telling the truth anymore. Now, the information's false. But he's alleged to have been source D and E in the dossier. He denies that. And some of that information, as I point out in my book, Exonerated, doesn't seem to gel. But Bertrand believes that Milian's a source and a credible one, because someone wanted her to believe that. And if Milian is the source for the dossier, someone wanted you to believe the dossier was true. Mm-hmm. Someone wanted you to believe that a deep state Russia conspiracy exists and that Jared Kushner was in fact a part of it. Now, there's only two explanations as to why some deep stater would use Natasha Bertrand as a tool to get you to believe that Kushner was part of a hoax collusion scandal that didn't exist. And only two explanations. The first explanation, which may be a little more unlikely, but I want you to entertain, especially you Twitter sleuths out there. Was there a FISA on Kushner too? Unlikely, but possible. Now, of course, the deep stater, who by November of 2017 knows this whole thing is a hoax, wants the media to believe that Kushner was a really bad guy to do what, Joe? If option one is in fact true, they want you to believe, oh, shucks, look, the Kushner FISA, yeah, we screwed up again, spying on an innocent American inside the president's family, Kushner. But, oh, man, golly, look, we just thought, because we thought Million, golly, buddies, we just thought Million was a legitimate source. And he was CCing Kushner on these emails with Papadopoulos and emailing Papadopoulos and others. So we just thought Kushner was part of it. That's explanation one.
All right.
Explanation two, which is more likely, is that someone sought a FISA on someone in the Trump family somewhere, or Kushner, it's possible, and was turned down, figured this was all going to come out, and is trying to, for the same reason, justify why. Look, Millian was CCing Kushner, on these emails. So Kushner had to be a part of it. Folks, it's becoming clearer by the day that the Durham Barr report is going to uncover a lot of things Horowitz did not have access to.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.